Today I'm reading someone that goes by the name of Gideon. So Gideon was a person that was allegedly written on Dylan Mortensen's forearm, and it said Gideon was here. And it's also been stated that Gideon spent the evening of the 13th of November 2022 with this person. There's more to this than just what I've said, but a lot of it is very interesting, and I'm going to get into it in a moment. This is a psychic reading. I use oracle cards and I use tarot cards, and occasionally I get messages from spirit. I interpret these messages in my own way, and you may interpret them differently in your own way, and I encourage you to do so. At no point am I claiming any of this to be factual, or am I making any accusations. This is for entertainment purposes only. Let's do this.
Who holds the gavel? Who breaks the chain? Who hides the evidence? Who shifts the blame? Behind the badge, behind the smile, lies a ledger dripping vile, redding stains and twisted ties, a house of mirrors built on lies.
His full name is Gideon Amare. And the reason I feel I need to do a reading on him is that there's too many characteristics of this person that has been brought up to me in other readings I've done. As I have in one reading asked who was the third perpetrator that allegedly attacked Sana, and it gave me clues of someone with braids, and I automatically assumed it would be a female. This person has braids. Then I did a reading more recently on Sigma Chi, and it gave me a clue of this person had dark skin. This person was in Sigma Chi and he has dark skin. And also the fact that he is heavily associated with Dylan. I mean, anyway, let me just tell you more key details. So the name was on her arm 3 days after 4 of her housemates were unalived. Dylan Mortensen had the name Gideon was here written in black Sharpie on her forearm, and it was visible on the Moscow PD body cam footage. So it is real. It's not, this isn't speculation. It's not rumors or gossip. It's actual real footage. In her first police interview, she was wearing a jacket and it was covering her arm. So who is Gideon? He's a member, or was a member, of Sigma Chi fraternity. I presume he still is, at the university. The same fraternity connected to the party that Dylan attended on the night of November 13th. He's originally from an Ethiopian background, raised Pentecostal, later converted to Catholicism, and he also attended the Bishop Kelly Catholic High School in Boise, Idaho. So what the Bishop Kelly connection is quite significant, because Bishop Kelly is the same school attended by David Loach and David Berry Ochoa, if I've probably got that name wrong, but David Berry, or David B, as many people like to refer to him, David L and David B. The two men named these are the two people that were named very early on in the 4chan post, saying someone stating they knew exactly what happened and who did it, etc., etc. And it was literally posted within days of the unalivings. So I took note of that post, I have to say, and I think people dismissing it are maybe wrong to dismiss it. So, he was named, the two Davids were named in the 4chan frat anon post in connection with the alleged confrontation involving Ethan. So that was also brought up, and this puts Gideon inside a pre-existing social network with those two men that predates the university completely. So he is now, apparently, he's currently a prominent Catholic youth speaker and vice president of a Catholic youth organisation. And he has appeared on Catholic radio programmes as recently as April this year. So, we're talking about Dylan, had his name, allegedly his name, Gideon, there could be other Gideons, written on her arm. She wore a jacket to cover it, and this man went on to be a Catholic youth speaker. So I want to know, what is his involvement, and why did he even write that on her arm? Let's see. So I'm going to start with the True Intentions deck. Is Gideon, is he the third perpetrator that I am trying to find linked to Xana's unaliving? Was it Gideon? Was it Dylan, Gideon and Kayla? Feels like an odd bunch, but let's see. First card, growth. I will ignite a spark inside you, inspiring greater depth and expansion. Ugh. I don't know if anyone else is getting the same thing as me with that wording. When I think about maybe what he was saying or intending towards Dylan with those words. Maybe they were enjoying each other, put it that way. Closure. It's time to resolve unfinished business and move forward in our lives. Ooh. Okay. It feels like he was advising her in some way. I wonder what his religious connections are before this. I wonder if he's had any connections to, let's say, the Mormon Church, or the Church of Latter-day Saints, I think is what we're talking about. Because there are rumours, again not proven, that Dylan has Mormon connections or was raised Mormon. I don't know. Maybe that, I don't know if any of that holds any weight, just purely because of the place that she was brought up in. Doesn't mean that she's doesn't mean she's Mormon. But I'd like to know what his connections are. Also, if he has connections with Doug Wilson as well. Let's carry on. The next deck I'm going to use is, it might be an avalanche in a minute. All my decks look like they're going to fall. Next deck I'm using is the Echoes of the Soul Oracle. So this one is a mix of cards, though I think I did separate them. I did. I'm a clever girl. So I'm going to shuffle these cards and then find the meaning. We have the Red Room Reverie. I'm sure I had that card come up before, and it was specifically regarding Ethan's reading. When he disclosed who it was that he believed unalived him. I say he believed because I'm not entirely sure whether, because that was Pete. According to Ethan, it was Pete. Whether Pete did unalive him. I mean, he did a very good job of almost unaliving him at least. But whether Ethan, I don't know. So it's interesting that card's come up again, because it feels like, did he have something to do with Ethan's passing? Or was it just Sana? And this one is the Messenger's Chorus. So that makes me feel like the whole singing connection. Was he one of the ones singing with Peter that night that you can hear on the cam footage? Let's get the meanings. So we have number 15, number 21. This might take me a moment. Please feel free to fast forward. Okay, got it. So, Red Room Reverie. So I'm just trying to find any words that are jumping out to me. Key themes are reflection, longing, hidden desires, self-awareness, inner truth, emotional exploration. Message: in the stillness of the red room, surrounded by the familiar yet mysterious, your hidden desires whisper softly, waiting to be heard. This space invites you to pause and look inward, to recognize the subtle currents of longing that shape your thoughts and feelings. What you seek is already within you, concealed behind layers of routine and expectation. Allow yourself to embrace the reverie, for it holds the key to understanding your heart's true desires. The red room symbolizes a space of introspection, where you can uncover the desires and dreams you may have buried under practicality of fear. Pay attention to how your surroundings, habits and routines influence your emotions. Are they nurturing your spirit, or are they stifling your potential? Then we have the Messenger's Chorus. The universe is alive with messages, each one a note in the chorus of divine guidance. Pay attention to the whispers in the wind, the patterns in coincidences, and the subtle nudges that come your way. These messages are not random. They are threads of clarity woven into the fabric of your life. Be open to receiving them, for they carry insights meant to guide your journey. Trust that when you align with the chorus, the path ahead becomes clearer. Messages can come from many sources: a chance encounter, a repeated symbol, a line from a song, or an intuitive nudge. Interesting. Chorus encourages you to pause, listen, and trust in these signals. Something to do with the singing, definitely. Something to do with the singing that night. There could be a bigger connection here. I don't know if he was, you know, an active member of, say, a church, and therefore I'm getting choirs. You know, was he part of a choir or something, even growing up? I don't know why I'm getting that connection or what the relevance is. There's something weird about the vibe I'm getting off these cards as well, and I'm going back to the same sort of vibe I got when I used to talk about Freemasonry, things like that. So there's an undercurrent here, connection between him and Dylan, like secret society energy, underworld stuff that I'm not quite figuring out where it's coming from, but I'm feeling almost like he's initiating her in some way, which is weird because I don't know what the age difference is between them. I don't think it's vast. I don't think there's much of an age difference, but he feels very, it feels student and teacher kind of energy. It almost feels like grooming. I don't know. It's a bit weird. So let's carry on. The next deck is the Path of Shadows. Avoidance. In the dance of shadows I conceal and evade. Fear's veil keeps the distant in the dark's cool shade. Mask. Wow. Duality, protection, caution. So I don't know if any of you are aware of the infamous picture that was circulating on Dylan's social media, which I think is quite hard to find now, of her wearing a balaclava with someone else, and I think they were posing with what looked like weapons. I'm not sure. And everyone's trying to identify who was it that she's with, and a lot of people thought it was Quinn. Maybe it was this guy. Maybe it was this guy. Interesting. I wonder if they had history. I wonder if she was with him before she met Quinn, or I don't know, but there's something quite intimate about their connection that I'm picking up. Yeah, that mask as well. That picture also makes me feel like this deep underworld society, secret society kind of thing. It's more than just the fraternity. There's something else here. It's like almost like the fraternity is a front for something else, which is only maybe not all the fraternity members will know about. Only a select few will know, about the secret society that's that's connected to the fraternity. I don't know. It's maybe someone will be able to help me out with this, but the next step that I am using is, if I can get it, the keywords oracle. We have trash. The relationship is done. Time to move on. Chuck it in the something bucket. Trashy behaviours or thinking it's not of further use. Wow, that's very abrupt, but you can see what I was trying to say and I couldn't. I don't know who this is referring to. Is it a relationship? Is he trying to advise someone else about their relationship? Is this about maybe someone trying to advise Ethan to break up with Xana? Or is this about his own personal relationship? Is it about him advising Dylan to break up with Quinn? It could be so many things. And then we have tape. Very sticky situation, cutting things away in order to hold things together, fixing things. Tape. When you look at these two cards together, it also makes me see that this could also be indications that something that was recorded has been trashed. Very sticky situation. Cutting things away in order to hold things together. I'm getting so many. It's not because I can't get anything. It's because I'm getting too much and I can't organize what I'm, I can't organize any kind of coherent thought because it's too much. So I'm going to pull the clarifiers and hope that brings it back into order. And I'm going to use the Simplicity Tarot to clarify. Let's see. What's the closure card about? It's time to resolve unfinished business and move forward in our lives. Who or what is he referring to? Or is it something that was referred to, something he was advised to do? Knight of Cups. It's like the end of a romance, the end of an intimate relationship. deciding that this has run its course, there's nothing left for us. Who is it referring to? What particular person? I don't know. I cannot remember Dylan's zodiac sign, or if I ever knew it, to be honest. I don't. She doesn't feel like a water sign, but saying that, she might be. She could be Scorpio, I suppose. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Whoever he's saying this to, they're resisting it. It feels like what they don't want this change, even if he does. And I don't know, still can't figure out who it is. He feels very cut and dry, black and white, matter of fact, emotionless, cold kind of energy, where he will just, he'll be in a relationship with someone and then just one day wake up and go, yeah, well, I think that's us done. Nothing really more that we can do here, so I think we should move on. It's very like that. It's very, I don't know. Clinical. The Red Room Reverie and the Messenger's Chorus. I want to know more about the Red Room Reverie and because I couldn't really pick up from the text what this was meant to be about, apart from the connection that I believe the Red Room Reverie, or what I was shown, was where they took Ethan's life. Because I don't believe it happened at 1122 King Road. The Hermit. So again, I'm getting images of Ethan being completely alone. I mean, when I say he was alone in this room, there was the only other people that were there were the people that were attacking him. And I assume one of them being Peter El Goriaja. I wonder if Gideon knew Peter. I presume they would have known each other. They're in the same fraternity. Maybe I shouldn't presume, but Seven of Wands reversed. Again, feels like, because the Seven of Wands reversed is about being defenseless. And when I look at being defenseless, when it comes to Ethan being in that room alone, the way they made him defenseless was D-rugs and tying him up to a chair is what I saw specifically. So I'm getting very similar energy, very similar vibes to what I saw the last time. But it's interesting that I'm being given energy towards Ethan when I was expecting him to be something to do with the third person, to do with Xana. I think there's something else about this, though. I think that there was an attack on Xana, probably involving two people, and then there was almost someone came in to completely finish the game, and maybe they were the person that left the marks, things like that, and maybe they came in and did that, later. It's almost like, leave her to suffer, I'll come in and finish it off later, or I'm dealing with Ethan first, or I don't know. It's like, because I know it's Peter. I've got Peter for Ethan, but there would have been more than one person. I'm not saying that he's got anything to do with Ethan's passing, but for some reason I'm being shown Ethan's situation. Is it possible that Xana also passed in that room, or was taken to that room and attacked? It's possible. I'm going to have to pull some yes/no cards for these questions. Let's do it now before I forget. So we're going to do best of 3 and ask, was Xana taken to the same room that Ethan was attacked in on the same night to also be attacked? First card is a yes. And the text says, full of possibility, plenty, creating abundance. And it's a yes. Reap the rewards, abundance flows. See, if I replace the word abundance with the stuff that begins with B and rhymes with flood, and then read this card, it would say reap the rewards, the red stuff flows. And this one would say full of possibility, plenty, creating the red stuff. So they may not have been together, you know, it may have been that, and I have seen this as well, that Ethan is being attacked, you know, almost tortured is what I saw, to the point of almost succumbing, but not allowing him to, is kind of what I got. And then bringing Xana to him at that point and saying, now what are you going to do about it, kind of thing. So they kind of made her watch is kind of what I got. But at the same time, I've also got this other situation now unfolding with Xana being attacked by Dylan and Kayla. So it's still confusing. I mean, there's a possibility they were all there, of course. I'm kind of looking at everything in a vacuum, and it may not be. It may be that they were all partaking at the same time. Which could be possible, because at the end of the day they were all at a Sigma Chi party, which means that they were all together. Let's see this Messenger's Chorus. What's this about? Justice reversed. Knight of Wands. It's so weird. I'm getting like almost like a fake setting something up as if it's a trial, as if it's a you know, as if they're making Ethan face a trial of some kind. It's like putting him in a fake court situation and questioning him, putting him on the stand is what I'm seeing. Like they've done that. They've set up a pretend court situation for him, and they've questioned him about something, and I don't know what it is, unless it was to do with the D-rugs or the money that allegedly went missing, and presuming it's him that took it. I think if this is about Peter accusing Ethan, he knew 100% that it wasn't him. Peter knew it wasn't Ethan. And I don't know why he's decided to blame him. Because it was a way of deflecting what he was actually angry about, and he was angry about something else. And I feel like he was angry about something else, which was to do with Xana, and I don't know why. What? Let's see what else we've got here. Avoidance and mask. Was he, let's ask, if he was one of, in Dylan's social media post, wearing black ski masks, was he one of the people in that post? We have a yes. By the way, guys, these do have equal yes and no's on them. Each card has a yes and a no. So there's not like there's more yeses than no's, just so you can see that that is a yes. Best of three. And it's a yes. Apparently he was allegedly wearing the ski mask. He was with Xana in that picture. Unless anyone knows it's been proven to be someone else, then I'm happy to be corrected. Let me just give these another shuffle. And we'll ask a very specific question in a moment. So the next two cards, or the last two cards, are the trash card and the tape. I really want to know about the tape. What is this about? Very sticky situation. I'm getting images of people being tied up and tape over the mouth. Cutting things away in order to hold things together. I don't get it, but we're going to clarify. Why is this something to do with Kaylee? I'm immediately thinking Kaylee with this card, but again, I don't associate Gideon with Kaylee. What's the tape card about? Ace of Cups. It's almost like someone being silenced, not having their voice taken away. That's interesting. Because I know that Kaylee and Maddie both had their necks. Was there enough damage to damage their vocal cords? I know it wasn't enough damage to unalive them, but was it enough damage to silence them? See, there's another thing about the autopsy reports. So I mean, I haven't read them personally, but I've seen what's been circulating? And is it that there is just the surface autopsy, or is there actually, does it go into depth about internal organs as well? I've read some things about internal organs, but it doesn't seem as in depth as an autopsy report should be, if that makes sense. Because an autopsy report should list everything from head to toe, and I haven't seen that. But I shouldn't, that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I need to investigate it myself. And we've also got the Six of Cups. There's something about that wording. I really need to work out what it means. Cutting things away in order to hold things together, because that's something to do with the actual injuries that they received, and I can't. And then the trash card, which relationships done, time to move on, chuck it in the bin, trashy behaviour, thinking not of further use. Lovers in reverse. So this is advice, or it is regarding a couple. Seems obvious from that card, but this is confirming it. Sorry about the light, guys. But is it Ethan and Xana? Is it someone really trying to come between Ethan and Xana? But why? The Hanged Man. I feel like he had a lot to do with it, I think he was directly involved. I can't help thinking it. But I can't figure out whether he was just directly involved with Ethan or whether it was Xana as well. Because I'm specifically asking whether he was the third perpetrator. Have I already asked that? I don't think I have. Or did I? Can't even remember now. No, I asked that. The first question I asked was whether it was the same room. So let's just do it. Let's ask, was he the third attacker? Xana's third attacker. Was he the third person that has been described as having dark skin and braids? Actually, I think the original description was braids and makeup. I think it said makeup, I don't know, but so interesting. The first is a no. Best of three. it's a no. He's not the third person. That attacked Xana. So let's ask, was Gideon responsible for attacking Ethan along with Peter? We have a yes. Best of three. Oh, this doesn't happen very often. We have a no. So it's the deciding card. The next one. Is it yes or no? Okay, let's reword it. Maybe the cards are confused because I've asked if he was responsible for attacking Ethan with Peter. So let's take Peter out of this and ask, was he responsible for attacking? Did he attack Ethan physically on the 13th of November 2022? Yes. God, isn't it weird? It's like, take the Peter connection out and it's like, yep, got it. So is this a case of he didn't attack him with Peter? Did he take his turn? Did they all have a go? Did they all have a turn? It gives me... I don't know if anyone's ever watched Game of Thrones, and I know some of you, well, definitely will have done. I watched it all the way through, and it's giving me images of the Jon Snow episode where is it the Night's Watch all turned on him and attacked him one by one until he was... I think until... Did they actually kill him? Anyway, if those of you who watch Game of Thrones will know exactly the episode I'm talking about and the scene I'm talking about, that's what I'm feeling with this. It's like his brothers are attacking him. They're all taking their turn one by one. But regardless, there's still a connection here to Gideon and Dylan. And I still don't know what that is. I am going to leave it there for now. Interesting. Another one that's incredibly interesting. But yeah, can't wait to hear your comments. Thank you guys, as always. Thank you for your love, your support, your encouragement and your engagement. That will return to you tenfold. Sorry about the light. I should have shut my curtains. But anyway, thank you guys. Until next time, enjoy the journey.